long day already. In this video, I'm gonna show you a day in the life of a cake artist. So I'm gonna show you how I come up with my cake ideas and some of the prep that I do before I even touch cake. And then I'm going to give you a tour of my cake studio. The first thing I do before I do anything cake related is I take my pup out. My pup's name is Nauta. He's a Shiba Inu, and I love him. He is truly a pleasure. He's a pleasure to have around. It's definitely a good way to start your morning. So I have to come up with my next hyper-realistic cake, and I've noticed that a lot of you have been asking for some kind of skincare related product. It is very popular. So after a morning of research, I have a much better idea of what I can make, but I need to see the actual products in real life before I make a decision. So I gotta go to the store. All right, we're on our way to Sephora. I'm going to look at all the different options for skincare, and I really want to see them in person so I can see the colors and the size, and then I'll know exactly which one I want to make. There's a few brands that I'm definitely interested in looking at. Drunk Elephant is one, very popular. Gotta check out Sol de Janeiro. That's another one. What's the name of the watermelon one? I want to see that one though. And I'm mostly excited to smell all of these because that's what they're known for. Like, all of this skincare apparently smells amazing, and I haven't smelled any of them. So at this point in the day, I'm realizing I'm kind of hungry, and I just happen to be near Chewy's.
We're here.
Chewy's is Tex-Mex, and it's based out of Austin, and it's delicious. So husband Dave and I go there pretty often. It's got some wild decor. I am full of Tex-Mex. Let's go to Sephora. Most of these skincare products are very clean and simple designs. So rather than just making a cake of the product sitting on a table, I want to add a little something. I'm thinking once I actually see and smell my options, I'm gonna get a little inspired. I didn't even mention, my baby's been with me all day. She's very good out in public. She's very comfortable. I hope it stays that way. All right, I'm excited. I'm walking into Sephora. I gotta pick which skincare item I'm gonna turn into a cake. So the first one I'm checking out is Drunk Elephant. I am loving these colors. Here's another one. We've got Sol de Janeiro. And I believe their most popular product is the Boom Boom Cream. That's a cute label. I like that it's on the side of the cap. And here's Glow Recipe. This is the watermelon one I was talking about earlier. So this is supposed to smell like watermelon, and it smells exactly like watermelon. It's crazy. All of them would make for great cakes, but I gotta go with the Boom Boom Cream because once I smelled it, I immediately came up with a fun design idea. The Boom Boom Cream has like a vanilla smell, and it's like a pistachio and a caramel. And the idea is like the vibe is beachy. So I am thinking that instead of just doing the product, I want to put it in like an environment. And I think that I have an idea. That means we need to go to the grocery store. We're at the grocery store. I'm going to pick up some brown sugar. I've got my brown sugar, I've got my Boom Boom Cream, and I think I've got everything I need to start the cake. All right, so I'm back from the store. I do that with pretty much every cake I make. I'm not gonna start the cake until tomorrow morning when I'm nice and fresh. I work best in the morning. So let's spend the rest of the day giving you guys a tour of the cake studio. All right, let's have a look. This is my studio. I have a fridge in my studio, but it isn't for drinks. It's where I keep all my cake stuff. Sometimes when I'm working on the cakes, they need to be refrigerated, so rather than running up to the refrigerator, I have one here, and most of them fit in here. Very nice to have. I didn't always have this. Also have the microwave, which I use all the time too. I'm melting chocolate. It's mostly chocolate and gelatin. You got our plaques? Because why not? Put them on the wall, right? That's what you do with those. That's what you do with plaques. It's 18 o'clock. Here are some of our tripods. I've gone through a lot of tripods. This one's for our heavier camera. I've had this one for a little while. It's not particularly fancy or anything, but what I do like about it is you do this, and then you can do that. And so you'll have the camera on here, and if I'm working on something and I need the arm to film it, you just do that. This one's special. Let me see if I can show you. See, we have it blacked out. It's basically just black paper, but we want to be able to control the light in here because when the light comes in and it messes with what we're filming, so we have it all blacked out. So it's very dark in here. It's like a dungeon. So you don't know if it's daytime or nighttime around here. This light, it's pretty unnecessary actually. I like it because it fills up the room. We have these globes. These are awesome because they're soft light. But this doesn't fill up the room. This one, because it's so big and it's just massive, it fills up the room. And so I like to bounce it off of the ceiling so that everything is equally lit. And I think you can make it do fun colors. Let's play with it real quick. Isn't doing anything. No, there it is. This one's called Fireworks. Just like fireworks. When we first moved into this space, we realized it was really echoey, which is unfortunate, but we had it fixed. We bought these panels. So we have these panels kind of just like randomly up on the walls. Even on the ceiling. Here is a C-stand. This is a very light camera, so this is a little heavy duty for it, but we can hang like pretty heavy stuff off of here. This camera is just the easiest for me to use. It's nice because the C-stand makes it overhead. So while I'm working on stuff, I can adjust it, you know, move it up, down, everywhere. And you can see that this camera is a little bit dirty. And that's because I'm constantly turning it off and on and like zooming in and out. So it gets a little bit dirty, but I really like this camera for overhead filming. It was the first camera that we bought when we bought a camera. So we used a cell phone, an iPhone, for a very long time, for years. And then we finally bought a camera, and that's when we got this one. And I still use it. Underneath the table, I try to keep this as clean as possible because I get a little messy, but this isn't too bad, actually. So under here, we have a turntable. Not a boy, you try to... So down here, we have our turntable. This is like a heavy duty turntable. Sometimes when I'm working on a cake, like, it's kind of like a pottery wheel, basically. We also have these mats. I use these in the videos as a background, not only because I like adding color to the shots, but it's nice to have these so I don't completely destroy the table. I just got some new ones, which I like, but they have little, they have like little things in the corner, like this one's for bread. And this one is for meat. So I don't know. I think I'm still going to use them and just not care that there's little things in the corner. Little images. This is my fish mat. We have this bar light here. You can change the colors, which is fun because then I can have the background of all my shots any color I want. And also it's just really nice to have light up against the wall. It looks way better than when there's no light. I have this white tabletop. This is actually just a desktop from IKEA. I just didn't need the legs. I put it on top of a stainless steel table. This is the green screen area. So I have a table here. When I'm working on the cakes and just filming over on that table, it's nice because I use this table just as extra space. So if I'm mixing up buttercream, I can have the buttercream off of the work table. But I also use this table to set up when I'm doing the green screen shots. So I sit right here and I have the microphone in front of me typically, and the camera, my iPad, where I can like hit the button on the iPad and it starts the camera, and I just do the green screen that way. There is a secret behind me, and it's not just the green screen. Watch this. You just very easily pull it down. This is so easy if I was an inch taller. It's my cake closet. Piping bags, gloves. This is all my edible paper, different styles of edible paper. I've got knives for cutting the cake, knives, spatulas, things like that. Here I have just some texture mats and molds. I use this one for the Minecraft cake when I made a ton of little cubes. This one this is a piece of a loofah, and I used it to make snakeskin. when I made a snake cake. So I just save all these little things because you never know when I'm going to want to make snake skin again. So I just keep everything. Here is where I keep like my molding putty. So everything I need to make molds. This is molding putty, but also the liquid mold. And what's cool about this stuff is I can heat it up, use it as a mold, and then reheat it so it's reusable. Good stuff. Here's a bunch of molds. I just had this in one of my videos, but these are all the molds I've ever used. So most of them are just like a bunch of texture. Like this is cauliflower texture. Straws. I use straws a lot, you'd be surprised. I have a lot of these Miniverse toys because I wanted the ramen. And so when I got the ramen, I had these left over in case I didn't get the ramen. I wonder what this one is. We've got tools, cake sculpting tools. We've got paintbrushes. We've got food color. These are my most commonly used food colors. But there's a ton of food color in this as well. I've got sprinkles, tape, rubber bands, you never know. Would I even be a hyper-realistic cake artist if I didn't have random rock candy available at any moment? Oh, and edible pens. It's kind of cool. And some cutters. I use these a lot. We got gelatin, which I'll be using for next week's cake. A lot of this. I have a plan. Oh yeah, and look who it is. Paige. Paige the notebook. We have these at sideserfcakes.com. How cute is that? I made a cake of her, and now she's a notebook. A real notebook. This is my bin of treats. I don't actually call it that, but I just did now, so I think maybe I'll call it that from now on. Tons of Pocky. Marshmallows. Got pull and peel Twizzlers. These are way better than I realized. Put one in my pocket for later. Look at this. Jolly Ranchers. I eat these all the time too. I used these when I made, I think, the pickles on my Krabby Patty, my hyper-realistic Krabby Patty cake. So, you know, you're only using the greens. What do you do with the rest of the flavors? You just eat them, like, forever. I just get to keep eating them. This is a bunch of chocolate. I can't eat these because I need them. Yeah. Rice Krispie treats, just in case, you never know. This is a case of more random cake stuff. But what's funny about this is that it's actually like a professional makeup case. But instead I use it for my cake things. Let's see. So just like randoms, you never know when I need a hot glue gun. I've got my extruder and just like piping tips and little things like that are in here. And we have these stickers. I've had this thing for a really long time. I think that this sticker's from like 2012, maybe 2013. And it's this chimp cake that I made. It says hyper-realistic cake sculptures, Sideserf cakes. I made this logo in paint. So this is the last of the modeling chocolate in bulk that I have because I'm actually working on something regarding modeling chocolate. And I will tell you guys about that soon, but not today. There's no way. I thought maybe I could do it, but sometimes I can, but not right now. Ugh. I hope you enjoyed this day in the life and studio tour. Make sure that you check out my next video so you can see how the cake turned out. And if you're not caught up on my videos, there is a playlist here.